Today we're testing the Cosori multifunctional rice cooker, so let's get testing. To start, I want to quickly go over a few important details before I show you the recipes that I tested. This rice cooker is great for households of about 3 to 5 and more. It is a 10-cup PFAS-free ceramic-coated inner pot, and you already know I love a ceramic-coated cooking surface. The inner pot is dishwasher safe, although I personally think it's super easy to hand wash, and I've found that my kitchen appliances tend to last a little bit longer when I do actually hand wash them. Now, I've seen rice cookers with similar features and technologies priced anywhere from around $160 to well over $300. This Cosori multi-cooker is currently around $99, which honestly surprised me because I recently bought a mini rice cooker that was actually more than that. Now, one feature I know a lot of people look for is the fuzzy logic technology. This one does have that. Basically, it automatically adjusts to the heat and water levels depending on what you're cooking, which helps kind of take the guesswork out of it, to be honest. It's also not just a rice cooker. It's an 18-in-1 multi-cooker with functions for sauteing, steaming, slow cooking, stewing. As you'll see in testing, we do oatmeal. There's several different settings that you can use. It also has a 24-hour keep warm function and a 24-hour delay timer. So if you want to prep your meal ahead of time and have it start cooking later, you can set it up so it's ready when you are. I do want to thank Cosori for sending me this rice cooker to test. However, they're not paying me to say anything specific about it, and everything in this video is completely my opinion and my testing. So now, on to the best part. Let's test. Okay, so test one, we are just going to cook literally a cup of white rice and just see how it turns out. First things first, I'm going to take the white rice and get it soaking in some water, and then we'll get it in here and get it cooking, see how it goes. So I'm actually going to do 2 cups of rice because if you'll see on the inside line, it has 2 for the white rice. So I kind of assume that maybe minimum is 2 cups. I'm going to do some research on that, but filled the water up to 2, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of oil and then get this in the rice cooker. Okay, so we are just going to add the inner pot. Close this up. I will say it's very smooth. Then we are going to choose the mode, and I just click white rice. Mine is a long grain, texture regular. Okay, I guess we'll be back in 50 minutes. Okay, so the rice just finished. This part is very hot. The steam was definitely coming out of it, and it did say to be careful because of how hot it is. It is touchable at this moment because it's not cooking, but just want to warn you that this is where the steam is coming out. Also, it has been on the keep warm function for about 2 minutes, so let's just open it up. There's the rice. It did not take 50 minutes, so I'm assuming it like redirects based on how much rice is in here. So, I mean, the rice looks pretty good. It's nice and fluffy. I don't see any burn marks at all. Yeah, I would say this cooks rice really, really well. I did look at the recipe book and there's a lot of different things you can do, so I am going to be testing a couple more things. Okay, so I'm gonna make my taco rice bowl and see how the rice tastes. Okay, here's my little easy taco bowl. I did taste the rice by itself and the rice came out perfect. So far, great little machine. Okay, so the next thing we're going to test is actually directly out of their recipe book. It is the steel cut oatmeal breakfast bowl. I'm just going to put everything in and see how oatmeal turns out. 1 cup of steel cut oats, then 2 cups of water, 1 cup of milk, and finally 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And I'm just going to mix this up. So this recipe turns out great, but I did want to note that doing it again, I would definitely add some salt at this point. So I put everything in the pot except for the toppers, and now we're just going to do the oatmeal function for set to steel cut, then tap start. Okay, close it, and then we'll click oatmeal. Oh, that's neat. So steel cut, rolled, and quick. So you can do all 3. I love that.
Okay, so the oatmeal just finished. It's been on warm for 2 minutes. It does tell you how long it's keeping it warm, so I really like that. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh, be careful, that was hot, that's steam. It's definitely got some creaminess to it. I did Google and it said to let it sit for just a little while, maybe like 5 minutes to let it like firm up. It does look pretty good. So I'm just gonna let this sit while I cut my strawberries and then we will taste test. Okay, I did actually taste this really quickly, just plain. I'm impressed. I've never had oatmeal out of a rice cooker like this. I don't think oatmeal is much to look at, but I have to admit this oatmeal by itself before I put any of the toppings tastes pretty good. Like texturally, it's definitely oatmeal-ish. It has like a creaminess to it, but you can still, like it still has a little bit of texture of the steel cut oat, which I like. I'm not a big fan of mushy stuff, so to still have the texture of the steel cut oats is really nice. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of chia seeds and just mix that up really well. Okay, per the recipe, I did a little bit of nuts, a little bit of berries, and then drizzled it with some honey. So I'm gonna go eat this. But like I said, the actual oatmeal tastes amazing. So I'm assuming this is gonna be just as good. Okay, final thoughts. My family's tried it. Very, very good. The only thing I would do differently is the recipe. I would add some salt. I think that would make a huge difference, but overall, very happy, very pleased with how the oatmeal turned out in the rice cooker. One thing I wanted to test was actually how the oatmeal turns out the next day for meal prepping purposes. So I'm gonna get this in the microwave and see, you know, if you'd have to make it every single day or if you could make a big batch, you know, once every couple days and then eat it from there. Okay, so I just tasted it after heating it up for 30 seconds and then 30 more seconds, so a minute total. I mixed it halfway through. Texturally, still great. So I absolutely think you could meal prep like a larger batch and then heat it up throughout the week. Final recipe, we're going to do like a honey garlic chicken on the griddle and use the sushi rice recipe. So I'm going to get this started and get it tested and see how it turns out. So I am specifically going to use sushi rice for this. And I'm going to use the cup that they give you, and I'm going to use 4 of them. Now it does say to rinse your rice with a sieve. I'm just going to put water in the pot and rinse it that way. You can do it either way, but I am going to rinse my rice. So this is 3 cups, and then you want 3 cups plus 6 tablespoons of water. However, in here it says where to put it for the sushi rice. I ended up doing 2 more cups in here, so I'm going to do it on 6, and I think that's actually what we need. Now it says to submerge all the rice that's swirling in the water, so I'm guessing I just need to press that down. I'm not really sure, I've never done this. I guess that's working. White rice. Okay, so that's how clicking the white rice a second time moves it over there. Regular texture, and I'm going to start. Okay, so this is finished. It says it needs to sit for 5 minutes in the rice cooker before you open it. So I'm gonna let this sit, and then I went ahead and made the vinegar, sugar, salt mixture that you're actually going to pour over it. And it is doubled because I doubled the recipe. So it's actually 4 tablespoons of vinegar, 8 tablespoons of vinegar, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt.
So for this last part, you actually need a fan. I didn't have a fan, but I do have a brother, so I enlisted him to be my fan. But you just have a fan on the rice and you mix it and add the vinegar, sugar, salt mixture. Like I said, we did add a little bit more salt, but this sushi rice was really, really good. I've never made sushi rice, especially in a rice cooker, but I have to say this is definitely something we will do again. So my final thoughts on the Cosori rice cooker, I think it's excellent, especially if you have a larger family, you're looking for something with great technology on a budget. Just a wonderful machine. So anyway, see you next time. Thanks. Bye.